Alright guys, welcome back. So today I'm got the truck kind of apart already. My neighbor was mowing his lawn, so I didn't start filming right away, but got the hood off the truck and I'm doing the return line. So I'm going to keep the supply line for the fuel system the same. I'm going to change a couple things here. So what I'm going to do is, what I had before was this 90 fitting that came down and to the fuel pressure sending unit. What I think my issue might be, or I don't think I'm going to make it worse by doing what I'm doing. I have the dash 8 coming all the way around, driver's side rail, passenger side rail, and then I had it necked down from a dash 8 to basically a 3/8 down here. And then I went through this fitting for the fuel pressure sending unit, then through my flex fuel sensor, then to the regulator, and then back to the tank. So I think I'm kind of defeating the purpose there of running a 1/2 inch fuel line if I'm necking it down to a 3/8 and going through all of this other stuff. So what I'm going to do now is switch this passenger side rail. I'm going to do like a 180 and then come back up to the regulator, keep the regulator up here, and then I'll do the 3/8 return and going back. So I think that'll work a lot better. I'll be able to like put the gauge right there, or what I might do is just put the pressure sending unit right inside the regulator and then just extend my oil pressure plug, because I'm using the oil pressure plug to run the fuel pressure sending unit because it's the same plug, and I just changed the oil pressure PID name to fuel pressure. So I think this will be a better move, and I like the idea of changing this up because my fuel pressure regulator is actually back here, like on top of the transfer case. So it was fine before, but then when I added the transfer case, that's where the pressure regulator is. So it's kind of hard to adjust and not very easy to get to. So I'm gonna take all this stuff out, just run a line back, keep the flex fuel sensor pretty much in the same spot, and let's do it. All right, so I got the regulator in here. I was able to use the same line that I had. I trimmed it a little bit, pushed it forward. I moved the flex sensor forward probably about a foot, and then I got some length out of that hose. So now what I got to do is take this 180 here, and then I got to cut the push lock that I need. So I got the dash 8 to straight push lock that's going to go on this fitting, and then I'm going to cut some extra hose that I have that's in the car right now and run that thing over, and that should be good. I did put the fuel sending unit in there already, so then all I'll have to do is do the line from the flex sensor to the tank and put the boost reference on, and should be good to go. So after I check it for leaks, I'm gonna go in the truck, prime it, start it, watch it run, see where the pressure is, adjust it to the proper base pressure, and then success criteria is going to be when I plug in the second pump. If I don't see a 30 psi spike in fuel pressure, then that'll be a good thing. If not, then I just did this for no reason. All right, so here was the first scan. I got it adjusted to 58 psi now, so that's about as low as it's going to go. I'm not going to be able to get it to 43, but 58 is fine. So I'm going to do this again, hook up the second pump, and then I'll do a real-time start, and we'll see what it does, and hopefully it settles right around 58 again. That would be wonderful. All right, Samo Sapiens, prime it. We'll start the scan. I'll start the truck. That 70 psi came up 12. I guess it's better than 30, but I'll try to turn it back down a little bit more and see if it comes down at all. Well guys, that doesn't really look like it worked. So I changed it to a different type of regulator. It's a 2-8, like a dash 8 in, dash 6 out. The other one was just dash 6 in, dash 6 out. So change the regulator and then the whole return side. Doesn't really seem like it's changing anything as far as pressure with 2 pumps, but I got it down to like 67, 68 psi. And that's where I'm just gonna leave it. So go drive it around for a little bit later and get it retuned, and then take it to the track, and I'll just run it on 2 pumps instead of 1 pump. But what we're also going to do today is put this guy in. So I'm going to try a 160 degree thermostat. I don't know if that's going to do anything, but driving around, it's been fine, but it does get a little bit hot, like when I'm sitting in the staging lanes, and I'd like to see if it'll just drop it down a little bit. So when I'm sitting in the staging lanes, it kind of sits and just kind of heats up and warms up, and sometimes I'm starting the pass at like 205, and I don't really want to do that. I'd like it to start the pass at maybe 190 or below. So we're going to try this thing, see if it brings it down a little bit. Don't really think it will. It might. Let's see what it does. All right, guys, so here at the track now, it wasn't a total loss at the fuel pump thing, so I took it out in the same tune, went like right to a 9.6 air fuel ratio. So before it was like a mid 11 into the 12s. Didn't really change anything, and it was extremely rich. So I pulled like another 8% out of it, and it went to like a 10.3. So the two pumps is definitely a good thing. I feel it drives a little sketchy with the 210s and that high of fuel pressure, like trying to idle around and low cruising. It just kind of drives like shit. So might try to fix that. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do about that 210s with this pressure. They were a lot better at 43, but 68 base is just too high. Like 65, 68 is too high. But one other thing, I did to do that thermostat, and it seems like it worked very well. So I drove it around with the hood off at first, and temp was like 174 the whole time. And I stopped and let it idle, and thinking that maybe there was an air pocket or something, and it is actually fluctuating around, and it comes right back down. So the highest I seen it when I was driving was 181, and that's driving around with the hood on and like sitting in traffic and waiting at red lights and stuff, and it seems really good. Maybe almost too good. This may be a little bit hard to see on the camera, but that's 174. So I just did a little bit of a pull here and just kind of blipped it a little bit, and temps at 174. So, and that was pretty much on the whole drive here, and it's about a 20-ish minute drive to get here. So doing pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my suit on. I don't know if I think I'm gonna end the video here, and we'll do two different videos. So this and a track video. I might leave it in and do it all in one. We'll see how long it is. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one. If this is the end, I'm switching to the GoPro, and I forgot my memory card, so I gotta use the one out of this camera. All right, guys, so I am gonna do two videos. I'm back from the track now. This video is gonna be uploaded later because there's a lot of stuff going on and stuff I wanna talk about. And I usually like to do a little bit of an analysis of the track day and talk about some stuff. So we'll do that in a different video. And you can see the truck made 7 passes tonight, and I drove it home. What was fun about that, and I kind of made a point of it, was drove off the track, didn't even shut the truck off, loaded up my stuff that I had, and left and drove home. So pretty happy with that. All 7 passes were in 4-wheel drive, launching at about 7 pounds. So nothing broke. Everything seems like it's still doing decent. Like I said before, the tune changed by about 2 air fuel ratio points. So it was like a 11.5, and it went to about a 9.5, 9.6 just from changing this regulator. So I'm still a little displeased with the high base pressure and the drivability with the 210s. With the higher pressure is not really that great. So I know it's the pressure because I tested it before by going from the high base with 2 pumps down to a single pump before and driving the truck around, and I didn't have any misfiring or anything like that. So basically when I'm driving it, the truck feels fine, but it's like a 16.5, 17 air fuel ratio, and I know that it's not accurate because it's just missing, intermittently missing. You could get tricked by that easily and saying, I need to add, 15% of fuel, and then you just add and add and add, and you make the problem a lot worse because you're taking a rich misfire that's showing lead on the wideband, and you're making it worse by adding fuel and kind of create a sticky situation. So I was kind of just going by the feel of the truck today, even though it was pretty much pegged like a 17.0, 18, almost a lot of the time I was driving it. Just kind of light throttle. If I would get to like 16, 18% throttle in that region, it would clear up and it would go back to like a 15. I could tell based on the feel of the truck, that the air-fuel ratio was decent. It was acceptable. But I wasn't trusting the gauge. But wide open, it's fine. So, and idle, it's fine too, which is odd. Idle is fine. Get into the throttle a little bit, then it's like lean misfire, and then, or rich misfire showing lean, I should say. Get into the throttle a little bit, you can hear it missing, it's doing that shit. And then you get to like 13, 14% throttle, then it clears up, and wideband goes back to like a 15. So, still dealing with that. I might try to putz around with that regulator a little bit more, but overall, like I said, happy with the truck today. Did do a new personal best. We'll save that for the next video. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate everybody that kind of sticks around and watches me go through all this garbage and struggling and breaking and learning and putzing with stuff. And yeah, thank you guys. Have a good one.